Hey everybody, welcome back to another Tying Tuesday here at AvidMax. My name is Taylor, and today I have a sweet little midge pattern for you guys. So we just got our first good cold snap of the year, and it's got me in that type of mood to get ready for some real technical winter nymphing here on our favorite undisclosed river of Deckers, South Platte. So yeah, with that being said, let's dive right into it. This guy is called the Foamie. So to start out, the hook we are tying on is, in my opinion, the single greatest small midge hook ever made, the 2488H by by Tiemco. And the thread I'm using is the Semperfli Classic Waxed 12-aught in rusty brown. Ooh, cam's in focus, there we go. I really like the color of this guy, especially when we put some UV on it. Just looks super natural. So we're gonna lay a bit of a thread base down just to about the hook point. We're gonna trim off our excess there. And we're going to tie in our first material here. To give this fly some ribbing, you can either use the UTC monofilament, or I'm just using 5X tippet. The diameter on this is 0.006, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, is something in that similar diameter range. If you're going to tie this in a size 18, I'll use 4X. This right here is a size 20, so I'm using 5. And if I'm tying in a 22 or 24, I'll bust down to 6X. So we'll just tie in that monofilament right there, pull it back, start wrapping down, securing. And I like to tie this in so high up because it does have a tendency to roll and slip. And so the more thread we get on that material, the better, in my opinion. So we'll cover it all the way down to the bend of the hook and back. And again, we're gonna stop right at the hook point there. And then we'll put that in the bobbin rest and start wrapping our tippet up. Just even spacings up the shank of this hook. Oh. Now this stuff does have a tendency to roll and move, so really make sure you're putting a decent amount of pressure, obviously not enough pressure to break the tippet, but enough to keep it in place. So we're gonna do a couple securing thread wraps, that way it doesn't move on us. We'll come in and cut off the excess right there. And we'll come back through with just a few more thread wraps, wrap up to the eye of the hook, and then back. And one more time, we're gonna stop right at the hook point and tie in our next material. So this is some UTC Mirage tinsel in opal in size small. Again, for bigger flies, you can get away with medium. If you're gonna tie this in an 18 or something, definitely use medium. For 20 though, I really like the small. Doesn't get in the way as much, so we're gonna tie that in. Make sure it's nice and secured. And again, maybe just a little past the hook point is where we want to tie back, and then we'll bring that forward. Put everything in the bobbin rest and start wrapping this forward, making sure we're covering all of those empty spaces. It's okay to wrap back over itself. It's not really gonna cause any problems. If anything, it's just gonna add a touch more flash. So we'll do maybe 2 layers of this stuff and then come forward to just before the hook eye, and we'll lock everything down. Perfect. We'll grab our scissors again, cut off the excess, and it's okay if there's a little bit of a tag end because it's all gonna get covered over anyway. So a couple more thread wraps and we're going to finish this off with a whip finish. Good deal. And it's okay if you're wrapping over that, kind of the head right there. Really, we want to keep this back section open or visible. That way the fish can see it. So I know a lot of you guys right now are thinking this looks exactly like a bling midge, which is correct. This fly was kind of based off of a bling midge. But now is where it starts to get different. So we are going to coat the fly in a little bit of Solarez Bone Dry. I really like the consistency of this. Oh, so I don't drip a giant glob on it. It's super thin. You can really get some good coverage without applying a lot of it. So just like that, you know, a dab will do ya. We'll cook that for just a second. Make sure it's nice and cured. And as you can kind of see there, that monofilament underbody gives it a little bit of ribbing. Makes it look like a segmented body of a midge. So when that's cooked, we'll take our next material, which is just, you know, any fine black thread. I'm using some Semperfli Nano Silk in 30 denier or 18 aught. And we are going to start at the hook eye and just slowly wrap back and cover back over where we whip finished. When I get a good thread base, I'm gonna take my scissors, cut off the excess, and we'll grab our last little bit of material, which is some Wapsi razor foam in the translucent white color. If you have any like foam packing sleeve at home, it's basically the same material. But if you don't have any laying around, that Wapsi stuff is the exact same. So we cut off, let's see if I can get this, about a hook gap width, maybe a little less, because it does kind of bulk up a little bit. We're going to lay the foam right over top. See if I can turn it for you guys to see here. Right over top, do 1 or 2 locking thread wraps, 3 or 4, we'll see. And then we're gonna bend it over itself a little bit and create a little bit of a bubble there. We're gonna grab the back of the bubble with my left hand, do a couple more loose thread wraps, and then kind of move everything into place where we want it. And then we are gonna lock this baby down. Again, if things shift on you, don't be afraid to move. Good deal, so we'll call that good. We'll cut off the last little bit of foam. And we will finish covering the rest of the head. Man, this camera is almost too good. You can see all my imperfections. So when we cover the rest of that foam, we're gonna do one more whip finish. Lock everything down. Cut off our excess thread. I'm gonna do one more dab of that Solarez in place of head cement just because I got it here. So just this real light coating. Perfect. And we go ahead and cook that. And that is all there is to it. A super simple fly, but man, does this thing kill in technical tailwaters, like I said. Deckers, this is one of my favorite flies to use from December through January. 11 Mile Canyon as well. I'm sure there's other tailwaters around the nation that this fly would clean up on as well. So give this guy a try. You can find all the materials on our website, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.